Hello, thanks for joining us today. You're tuning in for a 90-minute meditation and movement. My name is Megan. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Today we have Nader joining us to offer some really special music. There are a bunch of different instruments. I wish you were here in person to see it because it's really special. Most of it is actually handmade. Yeah, so enjoy, guys. All you'll need is some comfy clothes, and you can do this on the floor or carpet, or if you have a mat, great. And we'll just come into a seat, so that can be anything on your bum, on your back. We'll just start with breath first. So get comfortable. Decide if you need to turn off your phone or put it on airplane mode, Maybe shut the door. Eliminate some distractions from the space that you're in. Let's go ahead and take the first few moments just to settle. If you need to take a bit of movement and fidget around to get comfortable, know that that's okay. Then start to notice the noises around you in your space. Notice any smells that might be present. Maybe the way that the ground feels underneath you. What parts of the body does it connect with? Notice the way that it supports you. And then shifting your attention away from the external environment, start to notice the breath. Without changing it too much, notice its temperature and its depth. And as you breathe, start to ask yourself how you're feeling today. And start to describe the quality of the energy that resides within. Do you feel soft and slow, sluggish and tired, or maybe light and energized? And then come back to the breath. And this time, start to really lengthen the inhale out. So draw it all the way into the stomach. And then slow down your exhale. So start to gain some control over the release. Rather than just letting everything go at once, you start to actively release. So sip by sip, you let it go. Imagining the belly as a balloon, you can allow it to expand and then draw back in. See if you can allow the chest to be involved in this as well. So as you inhale, maybe allow the air to follow up towards the chest and the shoulders and the collarbones. And then as you exhale, the shoulders and the chest also relax and soften back down. A gentle flow of the breath. Almost like a wave, coming in and fading out. Deepest breath yet. Hold the air in at the top. Allow the belly to expand. And then you're to hold as long as you possibly can. Allow everything to feel really full and just sit still for a moment. And when you can't hold it any longer, open the jaw and slowly release out of the mouth. Finishing the exhale completely. And use the stomach muscles to draw the belly button up and in at the bottom of your exhale. And then when you're ready, welcome the breath back in through the nose. Connecting to the core. And as you exhale, make this really active through the stomach. Hug the belly button up and in, maybe shortening through the front half of the body. Imagine that your rib cage is shortening, collapsing down towards your hips. Inhale to lengthen through the front body. Exhale to contract. Sit here with your full body breath for about 3 more rounds. Time we'll come into our first shape together, which is child's pose. And you can do this with your eyes closed. And just move onto your knees. Bring your big toes to touch behind you. Your knees can go out wide or they can stay together. Melt your heart forward. Walk your hands out. And let your head drop down. Start to relax through the upper body. Take a moment to adjust to the shape. And then return back to the breath. If for whatever reason this is uncomfortable for the tops of the feet or the ankles, you can go ahead and push through your knees now and slide your arms forward and come into a puppy pose, allowing the hips to stack over top of the knees instead. Coming into whatever shape feels right for you. Another really deep breath in, hold it in at the top. You decide how long you can hold. Know that the longer you do, the more benefit you have from the breath, the more opportunity that the air has inside to move and shift around. And then as slowly as you possibly can, open the mouth and release. And go through one more cycle at your own time. And this time, maybe engaging the muscles in the core, drawing the belly button up and in, maybe engaging the pelvic floor muscles as well. And the easiest way to think of this is to squeeze the bum first, and then to activate through the inner thighs and the hips and the spaces in between. Go ahead and rock your forehead left to right. And just for a moment, consider what brought you to the mat today. Is there anything in specific you're looking to feel or to cultivate? Go ahead and still the forehead. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and release. Returning back to that question of what brought you to the mat, maybe you'd like to set an intention. And this could be just a gentle reminder that you can come back to whenever you start to take things a little bit too seriously or lose track of what brought you here. And take a deep breath in. And release, relax back into the shape. Wherever you are, come into a tabletop onto hands and knees. And from there, you'll just walk your hands back towards your knees, coming to stand up, stacking hips, shoulders, and head. Separate your knees so you have a sturdy foundation. Take a moment to adjust just to having the head over the heart. Relax the hands down by the sides, and the shoulders are soft. As you inhale, circle the arms up towards the sky, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And pause there, reach up, look up. Start to push down through your knees. Maybe if you'd like to get active here, you can squeeze the bum, imagining that there's a pillow between your legs, encouraging you to stay active through the quads, maybe even the shins as well as you push the tops of the feet into the mat. And then as you inhale, grow a little bit taller through the hands and the arms. Reach up a little bit more. Only if it feels good, you can start to bend back. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands back towards the mat. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose as you exhale. Full breath here. Open the mouth and release if you'd like. And coming back to stand on our knees, circle the arms up as you breathe in. And this time, drop the right arm down beside the body and lean over towards the right as you breathe out. Inhale, spiral the heart open towards the sky. You can look up towards that top hand if you'd like. And then get active through that left pinky. Push down through the left knee more than the right. Glutes can still be engaged. Full breath in. Full breath out. Stay here, just lift the right arm up and interlace the hands, releasing the index finger. Come up through center, back bend if it feels good, squeeze the bum if you're doing so. Realign the spine. Lean over towards the left as you exhale. The left arm drops down beside the body, and the shoulders are soft. Inhale to open the heart, maybe look up. And breathe out. Push down through the right knee more than the left. And get strong through both knees. Lift the left arm up, interlace the hands. Come all the way through center. Sit your bum back towards your heels. You can also tuck the toes under here if you'd like. If it's too much on the feet for whatever reason, take a pillow in between or underneath. And just sit for a moment with the head over the heart after that little bit of movement. Notice how you feel. Maybe start to work with a counted breath. So inhaling for a count of 4 or 5. And then trying to get your exhale to match that. Starting at different points. So allow your practice to be your own. Know that yoga is not about what it looks like. And the practice is a physical one, but traditionally it was actually used to be able to sit in periods of time for longer in complete stillness. Gotten so wrapped up in this idea that to practice yoga you have to look or to act or to feel a certain way, when in fact all you need to do is to breathe, to welcome the idea of stillness and silence into your life, and then be curious enough to explore your mind and your body and everything else that encompasses you. Finish off with your breath here, one more round. Strong through the legs, push through the knees, come to stand on the knees as well. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Lean over towards the right one more time, let the right arm drop down. Inhale, come all the way back up and switch sides. And come through center, reach up, baby back bend if you'd like. Otherwise, just stay and reach and lengthen. And then as you exhale, allow the hands to come down towards the mat. Come into a tabletop, and then just pause there. See if you can reach back through your right foot. Get strong through the leg. Draw the belly button up and in. And then as you inhale, kick the foot up towards the sky, bending at the knee. Go ahead and stomp into the ceiling with that right foot. Flex through the toes. And just notice what kind of strength that takes through the core. And then as you inhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Shorten through the front half of the body and push the mat away. And deep breath in as you lengthen back up and kick up towards the ceiling. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale to lengthen. Kick up towards the sky if it feels good. Otherwise, you can just lengthen the leg out as well. Knee in towards nose. Look towards the back of the mat. Create space between your shoulder blades. And then lengthen back out. Find your modified version. More rounds. Next time the knee comes towards the nose, just hold. We're going to see if we can tuck the back toes under and lift that back knee away. Coming into like a modified plank with the knee hugging in towards the upper body. As you breathe in, hug the knee in a little bit tighter towards the chest. And then stretch the leg back out, coming into a three-legged plank. Lower the foot down, drop the knees if you need to. Otherwise, you can keep them lifted if you'd like. Just a little bit of heat to warm up before we move into stretching and unwinding. Rock forward on your toes or your knees, wherever you are. And then bend at the elbows, lower yourself all the way down towards the mat. Relax the tops of the feet. Inhale, peel the heart off of the floor, maybe look up. Pull the shoulders down and back, wherever you are. Exhale to reverse out. Find your way back into a child's pose or a puppy pose if you would rather stay off the ankles and the feet. And try to slow down the breath. For me, one of the most interesting parts of my practice is challenging myself to see how fast I can speed things up, how fast I can fire up the body and create heat, and then how fast I can slow back down and enjoy stillness. Tune into the beauty of doing nothing. Next time you inhale, you'll start to stand on the knees again. All the way up. Reach the arms up towards the sky. One time over towards the right. Drop the right arm down, lean over. Circle the arms back up towards the sky and then the other direction as you exhale. Back to center, back bend if you'd like, squeezing the bum to send the hips forward if you are. Hands to the mat as you breathe out. Left leg goes back this time. Toes down towards the ground at first, just to draw the belly button up and in. Fingers are spread wide, they're underneath the shoulders. We're looking between the hands to keep the spine sturdy and stable. Bend at the knee, foot stays flexed. Inhale, shorten through the front half of the body. Imagine kissing your knee if you'd like. Draw it all the way back out, maybe stomping up towards the ceiling, maybe just extending. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale to extend. Find the rhythm that works with your breath. last one, knee towards nose, hold it up. Can you connect the knee towards the upper body a little bit more, almost like you're drawing the knee away from the mat? And get strong through the arms, and then push through the toes of the right foot. Lift that knee away, come into a plank. Just for a breath in, straighten the leg out, and then land the toes to the mat. Come down to your knees if you need a rest. Otherwise, rock forward on the toes and pause and hold. Zip the legs up together, almost like you're squeezing a pillow between them again. Second time for a modified chaturanga, so you can come down to the knees. Otherwise, if you're lowering all the way down, then just hug your elbows in towards the rib cage as you lower. Look forward. Maybe allowing the whole belly to drop down, let it feel good. Inhale maybe for a baby back bend or full cobra or up dog, you choose. Find your way back into child's pose for 5 breaths. Next inhale prepares you to move. Pushing up onto your knees again. Shoulders, head, hips stack. Arms will reach up towards the sky, spread the fingers wide. As you exhale, pull the hands into heart, Anjali Mudra. And get active through the arms, the biceps, the triceps, and the scapula. That whole area of the back where the shoulder blades and the collarbone meet. Push down through your left knee more than your right. And then you're going to lift your right knee away, dragging your foot up to the top edge of the mat for a low lunge. Pat up your left knee if it's sensitive or sore. Tuck your back toes under if you need more stability. With a breath in, you'll send your arms up towards the sky. With your breath out, you'll relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale to lengthen through the sides of the body. Exhale to give into the lunge. Front foot is active, pushing the ground away. You want to feel more sensation, then squeeze the bum. Lift up, breathe in. As you breathe out, float the chest forward, arms go back, modified runner's lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, shoulders stack, arms reach. Breathe out, dive yourself forward, runner's lunge. One more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, float forward. And this time we stay in our crescent, just pause. Lower the hands to the instep of the right foot. Heel toe that right foot out towards the side. You have options, you can rock left to right. You can go forward and back. Maybe you choose to lift up through your right hand, placing it onto your right knee. Squeezing your shoulder blades together so you have a little bit of a twist. Breathe all the way into the space just below the belly button. Keep pushing the ground away with your left hand. Just for a moment, reach the right arm up towards the sky. Lower it back down towards the ground if it left. And tuck the back toes under, lift away that back knee. Stepping the back foot in about a foot, just so that the heel can land. Setting up for warrior one. All 10 toes are pointing forward. We're bending into that front knee. Feet are on opposite train tracks. And then push down through both feet. Come up to rise, stacking shoulders over top of the hips. Taught this pose in my morning class today. I'll say it again. It's my least favorite pose. It's deceivingly challenging. You want to root down through your back left heel. Take the weight out of all of 10 of your toes, and then start to squeeze the bum. Find length through the torso. As you breathe out, soften through the shoulders and keep the hands strong. And at the same time, can you shorten through the front half of the body, knitting the rib cage down towards the hips. Breathe in, lengthen up. And breathe out, float the chest forward, arms go back. Lunge deeper into that front knee now. Maybe if you want to go further, feel free to stay if you'd like. Interlace the hands at your low back. Maybe extend the arms as you inhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, look forward. Another deep breath in, blow the stomach up. As you breathe out, you can bow the head and the shoulders to the inside of that right leg for a humble warrior. Hands can float up towards the ceiling. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. One more breath. And separate the hands. Runner's lunge, lift up. And spine's in one nice long line. And then arms sweep forward back to your warrior one. Push the ground away with your feet. Okay, one more breath to lengthen. And look down to your mat. Pivot the back toes so that they point towards the left, warrior two. Front toes keep pointing forward. Right foot should be at the center of your mat. I'll flip to face the camera. So with your right toes pointing forward, bend deeply into that front leg. Put more weight into the pinky side of the back foot than the big toe. And then external rotation through the quad. So maybe take your hand to that front leg. You can twist the muscle out towards the side. Should be able to see your big toe on the front foot. Soft shoulders. Soft hands. One more breath. Reach forward. Flip the front palm and then stretch all the way back, reverse warrior. Sink in here. Don't lose the lunge in the front knee. Just a little bit more. You want to feel some shaking. You can open the heart towards the sky if you'd like, pulling the left shoulder down away from the ear. And the back hand can do whatever it wants. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then get really strong through that front foot. Push the ground away as you straighten the left leg. Stay in your reverse shape. Keep reaching back. And then cartwheel the hands back to warrior two and just pause. Take a micro bend into that front knee to protect the joint. And then reach forward with your left hand. As you breathe out, allow the left arm to lower, right arm lifts, triangle. So left knee can be as bent as it needs to be. You can slowly work it to straight. Core is active and strong. One more breath. From here, we'll lower both arms towards the ground. Bending into that front knee if you need. Hands are underneath the shoulders, pivot onto the toes of the back foot. Okay, so front knee can be bent, or if you're super flexy and open, you can go ahead and straighten the leg now. I'll work from bent knee. We're gonna push the ground away, think plank, and then drag that foot back in space and back in plank. Shoulders over top of wrists. Inhale to rock forward. Drop your knees down if you need, otherwise lower all the way down, chaturanga. Landing the belly on the mat. This time take your hands really wide. Elbows over top of wrists. Let your feet be soft, but the bum is active. Inhale to lift up, maybe look up. Exhale to lower back down. Find your way back into a resting shape. So that could be puppy pose or child's pose again. Or you can come up into downward facing dog. Just making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders first, and then pushing into the toes to lift the knees. Hips go up towards the sky. Keep the knees soft. The heels don't have to connect with the ground. Wherever you are, you have about 5 more breaths, so you can take any movement that might feel right, or you can just stay and breathe. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Come to stand. And this time, reach your arms up towards the sky. We lean the weight into the right knee. Hands into Heart Anjali Mudra as the left foot lifts away. Up towards the top edge of the mat. Take a moment to find a sense of balance. You want your ankle underneath your knee. Be able to see your front toe. And then if you're ready, you can reach the arms up. Shut down the eyes if you'd like. Give into the discomfort. Choose to stay with the breath. Next time you inhale, grow a little bit taller through the hands and the arms and the sides of the body. As you breathe out, dive the chest forward, arms sweep back, runner's lunge. Fluid movement between the two shapes with your breath. Next time you lift up, you'll pause. Exhale to lower the hands to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe the foot out to the left side of the mat. Before you move, just notice if this side feels any different than the first. And then start to move from that place. Awareness. Recognizing that they don't have to be the same. Maybe you're wishing to pull that left arm up towards the left knee. Feel free. Just stay strong through the right arm, squeezing the shoulder blades together. The gaze can also follow. Push down through the top of the right foot. Bringing everything back to center, maybe reaching the arm up towards the sky if you'd like. Look back down to your mat and tuck the back toes under. Lift away through the back knee and step the foot in a few inches. Warrior one. Toes point forward, back heel is grounded. The weight out of the toes and then start to push the ground away as you lift up through the chest and the heart. Bend into your front knee, adjust your feet if you need. And then think about pulling your left hip back in space, right hip forward. If you're not feeling it at all, start to squeeze the bum. Rock forward, runner's lunge, arms sweep back. Look down to the mat, find a drishti, point to focus. Interlace the hands if you want to go further. Extend them away from the shoulders and then lift the hands away from the lower body. Creating space between your hands and your seat. Breathe in, find strength. Breathe out, relax and soften the head. Look to the back of the mat if you'd like. And the hands can float up to the sky. Left hip keeps pulling back in space, right hip pulls forward. And force yourself to breathe. Release the hands, circle it all the way back up, and just pause in your warrior one. Look down to your mat and pivot open for warrior two. Right toes point towards the right, left toes point forward. Arms can go out in one line away from the shoulders and then bend deeply into that front knee. Give into the discomfort. Inhale, reach forward. Flip the front palm, exhale to reverse. Don't lose the lunge in the front knee. Open the heart if you'd like. With some strength, push through your front foot as you straighten the front knee. Reach back even further. And then cartwheel your hands back to warrior two. Pause, micro bend into the front knee. Bend into it as much as you need. Reach forward. Exhale into your triangle or exalted, depending on what your body's wanting. Don't collapse through your bottom hand. Stay lifted through the top arm. And then play with different options. If you've never tried, play reaching down for your toe. Maybe try lifting that bottom arm up for a moment. One more breath in. And then lower your hands down towards the mat. And pivoting onto your back toes. Bend into your front knee if it's not already. You can play with straightening it as well and lifting it from there. Wherever you are, think plank. Lift the belly away from the mat. And then start to drag the foot back in space. We'll arrive in plank once again. And from here, this time we're going to pike the hips up nice and high. Downward facing dog. If it's too much on the shoulders, then come back down to puppy. We'll find some movement from here. So inhale onto the toes. Heels stack. Just pause. Next breath in, you roll forward to plank, shoulders stack over wrists. And then bend your knees as you breathe out. Start to send your hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Bend your knees. Breathe out, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, shoulders over wrists. Bend your knees. As you breathe out, glide the hips high. It's called an undulation of the spine. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. You can keep going from there. If it's too much, just bring your knees down. Work with a cat-cow. Can you get this to feel good? While still working with strength and power. Last little bit of serious movement. Wherever you are, finish off. Make your way into a balasana, child's pose. Knees can be wide, or you can bring them to touch. Offer a little bit of compression for the belly. Arms can reach back towards the back of the mat. And forehead melts down. Deep belly breaths, maybe holding the air in at the top, yourself to see how slow you can exhale. Up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts away from the mat. Point or flex the foot. And redistribute the weight between both hands. And then as you inhale, start to bend into the knee. Send the knee up towards the sky, hips open towards the right. And straighten out the leg. Slowly start to come onto your fingertips of your hands. Walk your hands all the way towards the back edge of your mat. And if you have blocks, you can take your hands on blocks now. And go ahead and keep a bend into your left knee. It's going to be a lot for the hip. Just see if you can breathe for 2 breaths. Exhale at the mouth if you need. Look to the back of the mat if you can. Send the back foot a little bit higher. And then reverse, curl your way all the way back out. And as you do this, relax the neck. Let the right leg just cross behind the left. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. One more breath of strength. Peel that right leg away up towards the sky. And then flex the toes towards the face. Try to land your heel of the foot back to the mat before the toes. And pause there, redistribute the weight. Bend into the knees one at a time. And then we'll flow that out. So inhale to plank. Roll yourself forward. Drop your knees if you'd like. Otherwise, chaturanga. Exhale. Flip your feet if you'd like halfway. Pull the chest forward and through. Upward facing dog as the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Micro bend in the elbows if we're there. And then find your way back to downward facing dog or child's pose. You have 5 breaths. That peels up and away. Keep the neck soft. Shoulders engaged. Foot flexed or pointed, doesn't matter. And then on an inhale, bend into the left knee, foot relaxes, hip opens towards the left. Straighten off the leg. Towards your hands just for a moment. Come onto your fingertips. Walk your way back, standing split at the back of the mat. Right knee stays bent. Inhale to find length, halfway lift. Exhale, knee towards nose. Kick the back foot even higher. And drop the weight of the head. You made it. Crawl your way back out, downward facing dog. Left leg will cross behind the right. Softly land it. Right hip pulls back, left hip peels forward. We're really, really strong through that left leg. Kick it up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Flex the foot, heel to the mat first, toes land second. 1 breath in onto the toes, roll yourself forward and just pause. exhale, come onto one forearm and then the other. Look between your hands. Slowly start to walk your feet in towards your hands, your upper body. It's going to be a lot. It's not the most comforting, relaxing shape. Just a little bit of an inversion to get the blood flowing before we come down onto our backs. If you're playing with headstand or pincha, you can go ahead and transition now. I'll give you a few moments to play. If you're just working on holding this, you can also play with lifting one foot away. If you're like, whoa, no way, I need to come back, drop the knees down. Take a moment and rest. And then join us again when you're ready. You can also look to the back of the mat and release through the neck. Okay. Finish off your playing. Bring the knees down. We will all meet in Balasana, child's pose. Knees will be together. Arms will reach around the body towards the back of the mat. Rock yourself left to right. Bit of time to play, so you can stay here if you need more time. If you want to play with a back bend, then you're going to push through your knees and come to stand on your knees again, like we did at the start of class. And from here, you'll take your hands to your low back. Fingertips will point down. And push down through both knees and start to squeeze your bottom. Looks like you're zipping your legs up together. Pencil is at the center line of the back, elbows squeezed together. Start to slowly lift the chin away from the chest. And let your hands support you as you start to trace a line along the ceiling or the sky if you're lucky enough to be outside. And as you slowly draw this line back, your head will also drop back. And maybe this is enough. Maybe this is too much and you want to come back. When you come back, chin tucks first, and just pause. Allow the head to come back into its alignment. If you're ready to go deeper, then maybe you're letting one arm drop down, maybe the other. If you have books or blocks close by, you can use them now. If it's too much, then back away slowly. If you need more height through the feet, then come onto the toes. And then as you lean back, it can be also really nice to just play with stretching one arm to the space behind you, maybe switching arms. Wherever you are, you have about 3 more breaths. If you've made your way out of your shape already and you're sitting onto your seats, then you can feel free to stay. Nice to be upright, to recatch your breath, to let everything go back into its place. Or you can also feel free to come back into Balasana. It's a nice release for the low back. Make our way down onto our back. So we'll slide your way onto your belly. Get any props that you need if you'd like a pillow or a blanket. If you need to grab a sip of water. And just land with the feet on the mat, the knees bent. Hands can rest on the stomach if that's okay. Knees can slightly fall in towards each other. Lift your hips up away from the mat and then just plant them back down. How much of your back can you get to be grounded? Flat on your mat. Looks like it's glued in place. And we'll start to soften through the shoulders and the arms. And we'll just scan the body, asking maybe other movement do I need? Is there anywhere that still feels a little bit tight or stuck? If it's the backs of the legs, then I'll offer you to move against a wall. Just send the legs straight up towards the wall, having them supported. You can alternatively not move at all and just let them go up towards the sky. Letting some of the blood flow back down the legs. Feeling free to move freely from there. If it's the low back that needs to be released, then I'll offer you to draw the knees in towards the chest. Rock a little bit left to right. Alternatively, you can move into shoulder stand or plow if that's in your practice. If it's not in your practice and you'd like to try, then know that you cannot look to the left or the right as you do so. And you'll use your hands on your low back to support you as you start to lift the hips up away from the mat. Stacking feet over knees, knees over hips. And maybe that's enough, or you can slowly start to walk your hands up your back, bringing the elbows closer together behind you. And from there, maybe you want to rest your feet behind the head, coming into a plow. And to come out of this, use your hands. You are going to play around with different shapes here for the next 5 to 10 minutes, seeing what the body wants, what it needs. Maybe for you that means coming into stillness right away. If you're as we move into stillness and silence, choose to allow the discomfort and the awkwardness to be a part of your experience. Give yourself the permission to create a space for yourself that is safe, welcoming, supportive, honest, and open. Meditation has so many benefits. It can act as our gateway to the past. It can show us opportunities for the future. All through attempting to fall into the now. Rather than thinking that you need to start to empty the mind, I want you to first tune back into your surroundings, to the external environment that you cannot change. The noises, the smells, everything that brought you into this moment. Slowly notice the breath. Notice where it travels in and out of the body. Start to allow it to act as your anchor, your reminder to stay here. Your reminder that even though you'll be doing nothing, your body is still doing so much. Encourage yourself to be curious. To be patient. Mostly to be kind about what might come up, what you might feel, what you might see. Know that the natural instinct will be to move, to turn off the video and end your practice here. To avoid the boredom and the silence. But try to be curious about that silence. Let your attention stay with the music, carrying you in and out of consciousness. Full presence. yourself just to be. notice how you feel. Notice how good it feels to just breathe. This feeling is accessible to you at any moment, and all times. And before you move, take a moment and acknowledge the effort that you've put forth. Kindness that you've had with yourself. With me. For us. And at your own time, you can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, warming up the body in a way that feels right for you. And I'll encourage you to stay on your mat as long as you need. When you do decide to leave, do so slowly and gently. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with us. Please feel free to reach out if you want to talk or have questions. I'd love to hear from you. All the best. Cool.